Pay per mile tax for electric vehicles. The Telegraph screamed it was coming in the budget. Then the government said absolute nonsense, and the paper quietly deleted the story. Classic mainstream media scaremongering. But the real story today, the BBC just tried to make another Elon Musk documentary, and Maye Musk herself stepped in to warn everyone, don't do it, they'll stitch you up. When even Elon's mum says no thanks BBC, you know legacy media is finished. Hello, I'm Will. Welcome to Tesla Jigsaw. Let's quickly touch on this, and it's all linked as you'll find out. Pay per mile tax. Transport Secretary Heidi Alexander has explicitly ruled out introducing a pay per mile road tax scheme for electric vehicles in the November-autumn budget in the UK, despite rumours from outlets like the Daily Telegraph suggesting a 3 pence per mile charge, potentially costing EV drivers 250 quid extra per year. The proposal aimed to offset lost fuel duty revenue as EV adoption grows, but the government called it the wrong measure at the wrong time. Blimey, something we agree on. Industry groups like the SMMT, the Society of Motor Manufacturers and Traders, welcomed the denial, citing the UK's ongoing EV transition. Well, yes, do they really want to entice or repel people from going electric? This should ease concerns for electric car owners, and particularly Tesla owners, who make up just under 10% of the entire UK's electric car market. Any pay-per-mile scheme would disproportionately hit them. They've already paid a massive premium to go green in the first place, making them the clearest sort of victims of the policy, if you like. So scrapping it, or never even writing it, as it turns out, is a direct relief for the UK Tesla community. Jordan, the EV guy, breaking news, pay-per-mile confirmed not happening. Get ready for a mass deletion of posts and comments. There isn't even a proposal for it to be implemented yet. The Telegraph have been forced to admit they falsely reported it was coming in the next budget, an absolute embarrassment as usual from the mainstream media and anti-EV content creators. You know who you are. Jordan, you're surely not suggesting that mainstream media is no longer a credible place to get your information, are you? Oh, what's this? The world's most shameless public figure does it again. A guest essay by the once highly respected New York Times. But thankfully this article is locked behind a paywall that I'm just not willing to pay for. But spare me the details, we already know that this will be written by some bitter person, outraged at Elon Musk's compensation package no doubt, despite overwhelming shareholder support, whilst dismissing Elon Musk's unfathomable achievements, brushing them aside like a floppy salad next to your ribeye steak. Why do you think it is that mainstream media just loves to dunk on anything to do with Elon Musk? Tesla owns Silicon Valley. Elon Musk accelerated the end of fossil fuels with Tesla. Made humanity multi-planetary with reusable rockets, well, just needs a little more time. Gave the world high-speed internet in war zones and disasters via Starlink. Pioneered brain implants to give paralysed people movement again. Built the most powerful AI to understand the universe with XAI. One man did all this in 20 years, yet legacy media still runs daily hit pieces calling him dangerous, far right or worse. Why? Because he exposed their censorship, fired bureaucrats and refused to play their game. History will remember Elon as the greatest builder since Edison. The haters, footnotes. Thank you, Elon Musk, for literally advancing the human species. Well said. But if you're thinking, well, that's just a bit mean towards the New York Times, isn't it? Don't forget the things that they do like to defend, like this disgraceful article from back in 2014. Across the world, millions are waking up to the realisation that mainstream media has functioned less a neutral source for information and more a coordinated narrative machine. Years of selective framing, buried stories, blatant omissions and outright falsehoods, from the COVID lab leak dismissal to Joe Biden apparently being sharp as a tack, from the crazy EV hate campaigns literally keeping people poorer by dissuading them from going electric, to our own government and institutional news outlets labelling anyone with any concerns about reality as being far-right racist apparently. And a quick shout out to all the gullible numpties that regurgitate that lie. You know who you are. Trust has been eroded to historic lows. Once dismissed as conspiracy theories, ordinary people are at the least more suspicious than ever before, and at best cross-checking primary sources. They watch unedited footage. They follow independent journalists on platforms the legacy gatekeepers can't fully control. The spell is breaking. What was sold as authoritative reporting is increasingly seen for what it often was: scripted propaganda dressed up as the news. This awakening isn't driven by a single political tribe, it's a broad, grassroots rejection of being lied to by institutions that long ago stopped earning the benefit of the doubt. Need an example? A producer from the award-winning UK production firm 72 Films has contacted Tesla shareholder Alexander Merz on behalf of the BBC, and others it seems, including Sawyer Merritt, and invited her to be interviewed by a new documentary updating their 2022 series The Elon Musk Show, which will apparently cover Musk's recent technological, cultural and political developments, with filming scheduled in the US during the first 2 weeks of January. Alexander Merz would be an excellent choice to interview, as she knows more than most about the company Tesla and Elon Musk. However, her suspicion of the invite was to ask the ex-community of their opinions, which led to this. Maye Musk responds, "The BBC will do a very positive interview with you, then add a really nasty and hateful section on Elon and Tesla. They conned me into doing 3 episodes for them. Not sure if it's the same company, but you really can't trust them. Since then, I won't do any interviews for the BBC." Imagine a world where journalists have access to not only the undisputed genius of our time, but those close to him, friends, family, and people that weirdly enjoy following his crazy shenanigans and contributions to building a legit, better future for humanity. But nope! Those bridges keep on burning to the point that no legacy media will have the opportunity to learn from, aspire to, share the excitement of what Tesla and Elon are working towards. That is truly sad. Well done, BBC News. You've torched your credibility so thoroughly that those credible voices within the space of Tesla and Elon Musk are now willing to give you the benefit of the doubt with an interview. Another nail in the coffin for legacy media. Long live X. If it wasn't for me paying such close attention to the subjects of Tesla and Elon Musk over the past decade, perhaps I wouldn't have noticed the blatant lies and deliberate setups too. Remember this?
I'm asking for one example.
Right.
And you can't give a single one.
And I'm saying...
I say, sir, that you don't know what you're talking about.
Really?
Yes, because you can't give me a single example of hateful content, not even one tweet. And yet you claimed that the hateful content was high.
Well...
That's false.
No, what I claimed...
You just lied.
What? No.
Or how about the video I made over a year ago about Spain having too much cheap sustainable energy, with a report from the BBC delivered with all the energy of a funeral? I'll line it up after this one, it's still well worth a watch. It's a shame, because the BBC, once regarded as the gold standard of impartial public service broadcasting, has burned so much trust with its own past interviewees, including Elon Musk and his mother Maye, that even credible pro-Tesla voices now automatically assume any new BBC project will be a bait-and-switch hit piece, when the mother of the subject warns a potential contributor that the corporation conned her and will stitch together a nasty and hateful segment no matter what is said on camera. It reveals a deep, self-inflicted wound, an institution that can no longer persuade the very people it needs to tell a balanced story about one of the most important figures of our time, further accelerating the flight of audiences and sources to platforms like X, where they feel they won't be deliberately misrepresented. I'm very eager to find solutions for the BBC, and this is the best I've come up with. To regain trust, the BBC would need a visible, painful and sustained course correction, publicly admit specific past distortions such as the 2022 Musk series, selective editing and hostile framing that left even participants feeling betrayed, sack or reassign editors repeatedly responsible for agenda-driven pieces, publish full unedited interview transcripts with every documentary, bring in genuine external oversight from outside the London media bubble, including voices it has previously smeared, deliberately build ideological diversity in its newsrooms by recruiting and promoting staff across the full British spectrum, from the already left-leaning and socialist to the centrist, conservative, libertarian, socially traditional, working class, Brexit supporting, and consistently platform long-form interviews where figures like Elon Musk and Maye Musk can speak without fear of gotcha cuts or ominous narration. Only this level of radical transparency and real diversity of thought, plus a willingness to air stories that challenge its own institutional biases, would convince the public that the BBC has stopped treating journalism as activism and returned to verifiable truth over narrative. Anything less, and the erosion of trust is likely terminal. But that's just what I think. Do you see any hope for legacy media companies, or is the dominance of independent journalism, social media companies like X, and long-form podcasts the inevitable go-to places for the closest path towards truth? Let me know in the comments below. I'm Will, this is the Tesla Jigsaw. Thank you, patrons. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.